Okay, is everything all set? Oh, can't forget this. And I hate when the microphone is tapping against certain things. Hopefully that's not the case in this point, so perhaps it'll be smarter to do it this way. Alright, let's see how that goes. I think I'm about ready to get started. Let's go. Oh, hello there. Please, have a seat. This shouldn't be taking too long. I actually don't like to spend much time wasting time, if any time at all. So we're actually going to hop right into it. My name is Extraverted Thinking, also known as TE as shorthand. I'm one of the 8 cognitive functions, and I'm usually paired with my sibling, Introverted Feeling, which you'll be meeting in a later video. Today I'm here to describe a lot about myself. I'm here to represent myself, and I'm also here to pretty much break some of the stereotypes that a lot of people might have about me as a function. That said, I'm going to list off some of the facets of the function in and of itself. You know, some things I usually bring to the table. But first and foremost, I should mention that I am the dominant function of the ENTJ and the ESTJ. I am the auxiliary function of the ISTJ and the INTJ. I'm the tertiary function of the ESFP and the ENFP, and I'm the inferior function of the INFP and the ISFP. Now, other people of different types that I've not mentioned over here also do access me at times, but it's not in their immediate function stack. But because they're a human being, then we do use all of the 8 functions. So that being said, let me list off some of the facets of me as a function. So usually I have the monopoly on resource management, streamlining, punctuality, organization of people, competency, and executing goals and tasks. I'm able to put personal and group feelings aside to do what needs to be done. I like to assess information deductively. I'm really interested in amelioration of systems and structures. I have a focus on achievements, and I really like to do real-world application. I'm very big on talent scouting. I'm really also very good on problem solving, and I'm good at identifying who is good at what and how long it may take. Really, at the end of the day, I'm looking at progress. I'm looking at benchmarks. I'm looking at beachheads, milestones. Anything that has to do with getting things from point A to point B in the most effective manner is essentially how I like to operate. So a lot of people can tend to see me as very mean, cold, not even really wanting to help people. And that's actually very far from the case. If anything, I try to help people a lot. If it wasn't for me, there wouldn't be quite a lot of systems in the world that we use today that help us in our everyday lives. Now, it is true that I am more of a set it and forget it type of person. You know, I will like to create the system, have the system be able to run for itself, because I'm not really into like nurturing. That's more of my cousin, FE, or extroverted feeling, which you will also be meeting in another video. But for me, I usually like to just create the system and then leave it. And if the system starts to malfunction in any way, I'll come back and I'll try to fix it. But I have too many other things that I need to be doing and I need to be getting to sit there and really like nurture, if you will. But that's not to say that I'm not ever a warm person. I'm not ever really coming off as somebody who wants to help people and who is kind. That's actually, again, very far from the case. Down to the heart of it all, because I still do come with introverted feeling as my Siamese twin, if you will. I really do just have a heart for not only getting the things that I want to get done, but also making an impact in the world. And in making that impact in the world, it's not just a self-serving impact, especially depending on who the person is, but it's oftentimes so that I can help other people to be able to progress and see a better, smoothly operating type of world. Now, when I'm in the dominant position, a lot of people can tend to think of me as very bossy, and not to say that this is never the case, but usually I'm just really focused on getting things done, and that could be, you know, just for myself or for other people, or maybe even both. And so since it's so obvious to me the right way on how to do something, or the most effective way to be exact, on how to do something, on how to get results, then usually I kind of take charge in that sense. And it doesn't always strike me that I should probably speak in a more kind or gentle manner to people. But there are a lot of times where I do that. And I tend to hope that people can still see how much I care, even though in those moments I'm not being as kind and as affirming as I need to be. But I don't think I'm necessarily always trying to be rude or anything either. If anything, I'm just trying to make sure that we get the results that we want. And when I say we, I mean everybody, clearly, because this is still a group effort. It's not just about what I want in the world, but it's about what we might want as a team. And so I try to gather like, okay, this is the goal that we have here. And this seems to be the most efficient path or the most efficient way to be able to operate and get these things done. And I think a lot of people might misinterpret that and see my coldness or the way that I try to get things done to be an issue for them. And sometimes that can lead to a lot of mistyping and stereotypes. And, if they ever meet somebody who has this function as a dominant function, but then tends to be a lot warmer in nature, such as maybe Irvin from Attack on Titan, who is an ENTJ, then they tend to be a little bit confused because they will believe like, okay, he does seem to exhibit all the traits of a TE dominant type, but he seems to actually be nice and caring. And I guess the stereotypes is that ENTJs and ESTJs are not very nice and caring. And again, it's not to say that there are not unkind and mean ESTJs and ENTJs out in the world, but there's a lot more kind and gentle ones out in the world than you might think. And I think that leads again to a lot of like mistyping. And so that is definitely a stereotype that I feel like a lot of people should have popped. And if anything, and it's not to demonize this type, but a lot of times when we think of bossy, we're actually looking at TE in the tertiary position. So a lot of ESFPs and ENFPs, when they kind of get to that position where they especially start to like loop, then they might forget that, I'm pushing this agenda and I'm kind of forgetting the human component that might come with that introverted feeling component of things. And because the TE is not really as sophisticated as it will be in the dominant function, then of course from there they tend to make quite a lot of mistakes at times. And it's not to say they really suck at the function necessarily, but it tends to be a way they try to like flare things. They tend to go after the thing without maybe thinking through as much as possible or really considering what they really stand for. And then especially, honestly speaking, kind of doing a little bit of a sloppy job at it. But as long as they still get the results, then sometimes it gets done, but then they have to think at what cost, especially if it's at the cost to themselves. And I think that that's where introverted feeling might come in and talk to you guys more about that side of the piece. But I don't know. I think I've probably covered everything today having to do with me, at least introducing myself as a function. If you would like to know more, if you have this function in your function stack, then I suggest that you visit denzelmensah.com. That way you'd be able to book a session with Denzel so that you can find out what type you are, if you already know what type that you are, and you want to figure out how to harness your extroverted thinking function, or just at least learn more about it and how it operates in you. He's pretty good at being able to do that, even though he sucks at marketing himself. And so I hope that you found this video helpful. Please be sure to leave comments in the comment section. If you have me as a dominant, auxiliary, inferior function, tertiary function, please tell me about your experience. Or if you know somebody who has that, let's have a discussion going on about this so that we can continue to sharpen our understanding of these 8 slices of life. Thank you. I hope that you have a great rest of your day, and do not forget that you matter. Done. Thank you for taking the time to watch that video. And if you enjoyed that, please like and subscribe. It actually really helps out my channel a lot, so that more people who actually care about what I want to say can actually find me a lot more easier. Also, if you did enjoy it, then maybe you'll enjoy a lot of my other content as well. So be sure to check out some of my playlists where you'll be able to find a lot of my older videos and older content. And last but not least, if you would like any profiling sessions or coaching sessions, be sure to check out denzelmensah.com, where you'll be able to book me and you'll see the rest of my services. But thanks again and have a great day.